Jan, 1-1 about right?
Well, Hansi Flicker's player have 11 games now for Germany, 8 wins and 3 draws, and they were the better team today. In the second half, England didn't turn up, and then suddenly Grealish came on the pitch. He did a bit change in the team. He put up Kane for a big chance, and he was involved doing things going forward. Of course, Shaka Hislop didn't see that Pickford that was not a good thing that he did in the 1-0. Hoffman's shot, he could have stopped that one, but it was deservedly Germany up, and they should have won this game. They looked the better side, but I think it was a small progress from England after the Hungary game, which was very, very sad. But looking into the Qatar World Cup, I mean, Germany is further than England at the moment. But thank God for Nations League. Imagine this being a friendly and there will be like 11, 12 changes in second half. I think to be an end of the season kind of game and people want to go in to the holiday, it was a quite intense game. It was an okay game from Allianz in Munich.
Some are questioning Pickford, aren't they, as the number 1 choice, Shaka? Should he have done better for that goal?
No, I don't see
of course
how
he should.
does. Hoffman strikes the ball cleanly from, 10, 12 yards. It gets a deflection off of Maguire.
Small deflection.
Just to take it half a hand away from Jordan Pickford. If Jordan Pickford doesn't get anything on that ball, there'd be less criticism. So I just don't understand. I don't understand why people expect deflections of that speed to be saved.
I don't know why people expect goalkeepers to save the ball.
No, with the gloves.
I know it's a little one. Anyway, he's a goalie. I don't care. Listen, go back to Jan's point. Jan said there that Germany are further ahead than England. They shouldn't be. They shouldn't be. And that's part of the issue I have when I watch England. And I know there'll be people watching this going, Scotland. It's not about Scotland, right? We know Scotland are not very good. The point is, look at the player pool that England have. Once again, I think we have a pragmatic manager in Gareth Southgate. And when I watch England with the players they have, and I know there's 1 or 2 missing, but it's still a strong team. And okay, a lot of tired legs, I understand that, but so will the German players. I just don't, 38% possession? Okay, it's away from home, but shouldn't this team be doing a little bit more than that? Shouldn't the football be a little bit better with the players that they've got? You know, I just feel with Gareth Southgate, and I know there's been a semi-final of a World Cup, by the way, with an easy pathway, a final of the Euros, by the way, with a pretty easy pathway, apart from the fact they put Germany out. But I just want more from England. A lot of these players are playing at a really, really high standard in the Premier League or, somewhere else, wherever it is. Trippier spent some time in Spain. Bellingham in Germany, who, by the way, I think could be starting for England come the World Cup. And that's a big question mark. Rice and Phillips, Bellingham.
Yep.
He's got the maturity for a young man to do it. But I want to see more from England. And I think that's the one criticism of Southgate, is I want to see England playing the type of football that I think their player pool can provide. And I'm not, but I generally don't see that. Go on, Jan.
No, just saying that I agree with you, because I think coming into a World Cup, you need to have a team that can play more, keep the ball more. I'm not a friend of only keep the ball for the sake of it, but when you come into a tournament like today, is a German team, as you said, there were a lot of players that have had a long season as well, looking forward to their holiday. But when England going forward, it looks like a coincidence what they're doing. It's just like, okay, maybe Grealish will do something. If we're lucky, Sterling will do something. Foden wasn't there today. He could create something for them coming forward. And then you have Harry Kane, who will score his goals. The team performance today of Germany, they just looked so much further. There was a plan behind what they're doing. And I like that Gareth Southgate have that pragmatic look to his game. I think that is good for England as well. But I think, as Craig is saying, that there are so many players in that team that could really do something going forward. And I will always say I'm doubtful about that defense with a Stones, with a Walker, with a Maguire. And yes, Shaka Hislop is a big fan of Jordan Pickford. I think in international level, he is just on the middle somewhere there, an average goalkeeper.
Yeah, it's a little weird that, because I saw something recently suggesting he was the best England goalkeeper. And maybe this tells you a lot about who's been in goals.
Right.
But I saw a debate somewhere, I can't remember where, about the best England goalkeeper since David Seaman.
Okay.
Now, I know he's maybe like a bit like Harry Maguire. He's played better for England than he has at times for
Everton.
For Everton. Not suggesting at all he's a bad goalkeeper, but I just feel as well watching him, he'll make some saves, but then there's a rick in him. So
I think he's been more consistent for England than Everton, certainly. And while you're talking about the best England goalkeepers, well, since David Seaman, maybe again you can stick with that theme. The most consistent since David Seaman. I think the goalkeepers in between don't really live in David Seaman's shoes in that regard. At the same time, Pickford hasn't. I don't think he's let Gareth Southgate down in any way. I believe Gareth Southgate will continue to show faith in him. I don't think anybody's challenging him for that shirt right now. And bigger picture for this, while I understand the disappointment around the England performance and the praise for the Germans, given how poor Germany was in the last two major international tournaments, you understand Germany taking this game a little bit more seriously. Given how good England were in the last two tournaments, if I'm Gareth Southgate, I'm not that worried about a 1-1 draw. I'm not that worried about getting outplayed 5.5 months before the World Cup. That you're still frigging things out. The Germans have a bigger gap to close between their performances in international tournaments and what they're hoping for come November. So the dynamic, or certainly at the very least, the approach 5 months out is very different between the two.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.